Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to our Prophet Yahweh Shem Shai Shem Kakadash. Call Halalem Yahweh Shem Shai Shem Kakadash. That's in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh in the name of Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the current name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly calls Jehovah or God, and his son's true name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give the honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all our brothers and more, they pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, to all that believe in this gospel, shalom. Alright, this, maybe saying that this is the end, or something like that, whatever the Spirit will. But, I was watching this movie, The Purge, The Forever Purge, the last one that came out. Now I'm just going to show a quick little clipping. And we're the visionaries, imagine this happening to a town near you, where everything is just going out to walk, and who is going to be your defense in those days? Because that's a time that's coming very soon. Cities are going to be thrown upside down according to scripture, destroyed, wasted, and think about you actually, being caught in this, upon foot. Even the days are coming, we're not going normal, and then, well, I came across this video here, the Spirit's first part of it.
Yeah, a new study from NASA warns there could be record flooding possibly every day or two in some cities in the next decade, and you can blame it all on the moon.
A wobble in the moon could create dangerous waves for coastal communities. A NASA study found the moon's natural wobble as it orbits the Earth could create high tides that cause widespread flooding. The moon's tilt changes over its 18.6-year cycle.
That wobble, in combination with climate change and sea level rise, could significantly increase high tide flooding across the globe and here in Louisiana.
It's a relatively small shift that has a relatively large impact on the tides that we see here on Earth.
Right, and you can watch the video on this climate emergency worldwide, from Jason A. Right, but this has to be the end here. Too much things going on all at once. And the time that the scripture speaks about, there will be such as never since there was a nation. And that's so chaotic, and hell-like the situation will be, as the scripture actually tells us that. When we go to the book of Matthew 24, another verse, someone there also. Just want to get to the point. This is Matthew 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And that's the level of hell what the Most High about to bring upon this earth. He said, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days should be shortened, shall be shortened. Right, so two chaotic things gonna get the Most High basically cut the day short, speed up time. You want to go to the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And two things gonna be so chaotic, and hell like the angel, even the archangel Michael for come, Yahweh shall go return on the scene for actually deliver the elect, else we'll all be dead men, right? And things that get worse and worse, as the days go by. Even this video, the newscast, the clippings, You ask, is things really getting worse and worse? The answer is yes, yo. From your up on the hurt right now, yeah, look with the two big eye them you're supposed to see. So things is getting worse, yo. And that's actually the bird pains that the scripture refer to. Increase until the day of the Lord. Right, when such as never was seen since a nation. This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. As the first part of this video, I tell you clearly, the moon basically responds to the flooding. Right? It's and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations. So nations going out distress. It's with perplexity. And I think the brother Kaba should look up the word perplexity. Supposed to go back to hard for beer, with perplexity. Let's get that real quick. So from the Greek,
Strong's G 640, aparia, aparia.
it's a state of one who is in perplexity. Perplexity. Google. It's an inability to deal with or understand something. So Scripture say what in the time that's coming, now we're basically softly approaching. I didn't want to softly approaching, right? We're in the initial phases, as the Scripture say, is the time when the Most High will begin to visit the world which He made. It's and there shall be seen. It says, and there shall be seen signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. So the things that get so chaotic, it's hard to bear and understand. So the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts feeling them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And the Most High did that, as Him say, once again Him arise, basically to shake the earth, to the point when the earth will rock to and fro like a drunkard. That's the level of hell where the Most High about to bring upon His society. When we go to the book of Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 14, it says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and He hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. So like our man, like our bro God, the big nose will come and say, man, lightweight on the world stage, right, man, cry bitterly, because evil leads them, things going to get ripped out of them hands, so much out of control, He said that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress. And even watching this movie, right, we the visionaries, picture it, a day of wrath and distress, and a day of desolation. Look at that. And that's how that the cities will be, right? Everything that's being destroyed, desolate, people dying left, right, and center. As it's written, 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand and 10,000 at thy left. People shall die left, right, and center. Right, the mass kill out. That's what the Most High bring upon the earth all at once. Reading verse 15, Zephaniah 1 verse 15. Read about verse 14. It said, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and He hasted greatly. Even the voice of the Lord, of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, a day against thy towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. So body gonna be basically there up on the roadside, drunk and so forth and yummy. Like even this movie, there was a point where that actually take place, Let me get it real quick. When dog and yam a body. That's where the word is coming to, I keep saying what him a point over them 4 kinds. Dark to tear. Hopefully when I get straight for that video still, but I wanted to put forth that point, things will get worse. Where is it? You know, and people might see these things in movie and think, oh, it's just a movie, you know, right? But it's going to be played out in very soon, watch it. Ganyam body, yo. It's going to be the norm, you know. Beast, as scripture said, you know, right? Beast to tear flesh. Right, reading back verse 17, it said, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, you know, them not understanding because they reject the truth, you know, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as a dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. You know, and America will be utterly destroyed according to prophecy. You know, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, yeah, chapter 6 and start at verse 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and I will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have erred unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I shew these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together, which shall take place right now. The elect, you know, is waking up and have an understanding of the scriptures. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. That's taking place right now, you know, premature kids. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, you know. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. You know, we'll go to the book of 2nd Ezra 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. These are the days of the Most High bring upon this wicked ass earth as a form of judgment. You know, get this real quick. This is this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Start at 17. It said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to come for them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and the soil. You know, so the Most High plan to do a mass killer of what it behoove our people, the Israelites, so-called niggers, Native American, the small Latinos mainly, you know, 'cause we know we're scattered all over the earth, you know. Zephaniah chapter, what we're supposed to do, Zephaniah 2 verse 1, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce hunger of the Lord cometh upon you, before the day of the Lord's hunger cometh upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which of wrath is judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's hunger. Which that's the lesson, you know, that's what I'm going to title it. The day of the Lord's hunger. Giving all praises to our poor Yahweh, Shem Yoshai, Shem Kodash. The wonders and to our elders and apostles of great millstone. And shalom to our full like shalom.